3 years away from the gym. Do I miss it? Nope, not at all. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchett with Theology, Geek Fitness. In this video, I'm going to reflect on having been out of the gym for 3 years. Now, back in 2019, starting in April, I was a pretty fat guy and I was out of shape and in poor health, so I decided to start walking and doing some dumbbell exercises, the dumbbells that I had had for a long time that hadn't seen any use, and started doing that for a little while, and I reduced my calories to 1,500 calories a day, except on the weekends. I'd bump that up to about 2,000, and trying to lose weight, and started to lose some weight. And come June, I was like, since I've consistently worked out at home with a couple of 25-pound dumbbells and walking, I think I can have programmed myself to where if I join a gym, I'll actually go and use it, which is not like most people who own gym or who have gym memberships. I actually went to the gym. It was Planet Fitness, not the best gym in the world, but it worked for me at the time, you know. So I was doing that, and by October, I had lost 75 pounds, went from 220 pounds down to 145. It was really lean, too, so I was really happy with the results of that. And so I maintained that for several months until the gyms decided to, shut down like everything else in the country in March of 2020. And so I decided I didn't want to lose what I had developed as far as my lifestyle was. I didn't want to start going backwards. So I knew I had dumbbells, but I needed to get more stuff. I was late to that party because it didn't take long for the shelves at the sports stores or Walmart, or the shelves at Amazon, all the businesses, to sell out of a lot of stuff. So I got what I could. Some of that stuff I still have around here. Some resistance tubes, my handy dandy Spry gravity trainer I've talked about several times on this channel. Some stretch bands. I got a pull-up bar, and then a resistance band. So I was able to cobble together some stuff, scrambling one afternoon, a couple of Walmarts to find whatever they had, because I knew I was going to need more than my dumbbells, because by then I'd figured out all the different things I was going to be doing, and I wanted to keep with my routine and all that. So I thought, well, I'll just get what I can, because towards the end of my time at the gym, I had started getting into suspension because they had the TRX there, and I was like, what's this? And I really had fun with that. And then the longer the gym stayed closed, I kept checking restocks, working from home. So I'd also open up a window to check restocks in an Academy Sports about 45 minutes away. Got a dip station. So I drove and did the, curbside pickup and got that thing. It was like $50. I was really happy because I love doing pull-ups and dips. Wasn't really into calisthenics so much as just the pull-ups and dips in suspension training. So I didn't know anything about using gym rings for dips off of a pull-up bar. Didn't know any of that stuff at that point. But as time went on, and I was doing a lot of YouTube consuming to find out what all is possible with the things that I cobbled together, I found James Grage's YouTube channel. Then that got me into resistance bands. I wanted to get his Undersun bands, but they were perpetually out of stock. But I started looking into resistance bands in general, and the Clinch company got a fresh restock, so I jumped on top of that and got my first set of resistance bands, like full set, and got heavily into that, along with still keeping up with the suspension trainer and the pull-ups and the dips. Had a lot of fun. I decided, well, I'll just keep going with this, So I never went back to the gyms when they reopened. And I also decided that I wanted to go on a lean bulk, and I wanted to start putting on muscle, because I was, 145 pounds, and I was super lean, and probably needed to, it was okay to not be that lean. So, I was like 9-10%. So I just hover around 12% or whatever, and that seemed to work out pretty good for me. And so in the last 3 years, I've steadily added more things into the mix. I kept buying things and then reselling things or sending it back if I didn't like it. Now I give the things that I don't use or don't like to the patrons who want it periodically. But But I've tried a lot of different kinds of equipment, and I've reviewed a lot of it. Still have a lot more to review, because I'm not really a minimalist. But for the longest time, I was trying to see how far I could go without ever buying iron. So I had weighted items like the Bosu Hydroball Storm 60. I had sandbags and stuff. But then, I liked using weight vests. But then I discovered Kinsui, and I was like, oh, that's really awesome. They have this weight vest that uses weight plates. So I got that. And then they came out with the adjustable handles, and I got that. And so I started adding more weight plates and stuff. And lo and behold, after 3 years, I've kind of moved away from the resistance bands. I've moved away from traditional suspension trainers for the most part. And I still use one every now and then, but I got into the T2 ISO trainer, and like the T2 ISO trainer and the Kinsui stuff is like my favorite stuff. So I primarily am using those things now. But then I got an outdoor pull-up bar, and I really, really love that. So, I've kind of evolved my training. I still will occasionally do resistance band workouts. If I'm traveling, they're super easy to do, less fuss. I still like to do sandbag workouts. In fact, I did sandbags this past weekend just because the weather was super nice, and I was like, I'm just going to go get out my sandbag combo because I love that 2XSR sandbag and, the fillers and all that. I have videos featuring that product. I love it. It's great. So I still use a variety of stuff, and I still like to get out my inertia wave, and mess around with that for some extra cardio. So especially more now that I'm kind of in the mode to, well, I'm going to lean up a little bit for the summer. But I would say that 3 years outside of the gym, I've been more consistent with both diet and exercise than I've ever been in my life. Had the gyms not closed, would I have stayed that consistent? I don't know. But what I do know is that I enjoy what I'm doing now a lot more than I ever enjoyed going to the gym. But one of the things that's good about a gym is they have a whole bunch of different kinds of equipment that you can try out. And I was starting to do that before they had closed down, which is why I got into suspension training in the first place. Because I decided to give that a shot and look up videos on that and whatever. So I don't really miss the gym. Gym cultures seems to have gone downhill. You see all the videos on social media. Everybody is either overly angry or they're trying to shame men, women trying to shame men or whatever. All kinds of crazy stuff going. I don't miss any of that, I love working out either in my office, at my house. I love working out outside. I love working out. I have travel stuff I take with me traveling. I've done videos on that. What I take with me for travel. I love being able to have that kind of freedom to get a good workout in, whatever I'm using and wherever I'm at. Things that I've realized, I'm in my mid-40s, 46, so I think for being a guy in his 40s who let himself go for so many years but then got back into shape, at 46, putting on about 15 pounds of muscle in 3 years with these genetics at my age, I'm happy with it. Of course, I'm not trying to be a professional bodybuilder. I'm not trying to be a power lifter or whatever. So I'm just a theology geek, seminary administrator and professor who likes fitness, just a general enthusiast. And so for me, I am happy with the results that I've gotten. I've enjoyed the kind of training that I like to do. I've enjoyed learning more and more about the things that I'm interested in, especially now getting into the calisthenics, the weighted calisthenics more, using the T2 ISO trainer. I've learned that you can get a solid workout no matter what your goals are using anything, whether it's iron or suspension trainers or resistance bands. I would only say that if, certain types of equipment is better for certain types of things that you want to do, or if you're interested in certain types of skills, whether it be powerlifting or calisthenics or whatever, maybe messing with some things, might slow your progress if you keep bouncing around too much. But for the most part, if you just want general strength, general fitness, whether you're in a gym or out of a gym, and if you've noticed that most of the things that I feature on this channel are not expensive, so don't think that you have to spend a whole lot of money just because I feature a lot of stuff. I'm always buying and reselling or using the patrons to help support me buying stuff. But I'm not spending a whole lot of money. it's usually the same money being respent as I buy and sell or whatever. But none of this stuff that I feature is terribly expensive. So you can get just as good of results. You can get a lot more consistent if consistency is your problem. Using whatever kind of equipment you like, because once you learn the fundamental processes of building muscle and gaining strength or whatever, you can find a way to do it no matter what kind of equipment you personally enjoy the most, whether that's iron or suspension training or a mixture of all of it. Once you figure out the fundamental basics to what you're supposed to do in a workout to accomplish your specific goal, you can use all of it or whatever. Doesn't matter what you use. You can get, most people will get the same results regardless. So that's what I've learned. Those are my thoughts. I love not going to a gym. I love making the world my gym, or my house my gym, or my office my gym. It's a lot of fun. So if you're thinking about getting into fitness, what I said at the beginning of the year was go to a gym for a day, get a day pass, go play around with everything that they have in there and decide, do you want to be in the gym or do you want to do it at home? And don't just stick to the weights and the machines, but look at all the other stuff that they have there, the suspension trainers, the resistance bands, or whatever. Find something that you like, and then find out how you want to do it and get into it and stick to it. Those are the best things of advice I can give you. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on being 3 years away from the gym. If you like the video, click the like button. If you don't like the video, click the dislike button. I don't really care either way. Let me know in the comments, do you love going to the gym? Do you love being away from the gym and doing fitness anywhere and everywhere you like? Love to hear your thoughts on that. If you want to support what we're doing at Theology Geek Fitness so that I can continue to reinvest in the channel and feature new products, as the money builds up to buy something new to give a review and share my thoughts on it, you can go to patreon.com/theologygeekfitness. $1 gets you into the door to all kinds of extra bonus workout content featuring the types of equipment that I feature on this channel. $10 and up patrons can get into my gear giveaways that I do periodically. If I find something that I like or don't like, review on the channel, but either way, if I'm not going to use it, I give it to the patrons. So consider that. I'd appreciate it, just like I appreciate you watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.